Hi, my salty pecans. Oh my goodness. The time, I don't know where time has decided to fly to, but time has been flying by. Earlier today, work took, honestly, I thought it took a while for work to finish. And I am cat sitting for my best friend. She's out of town for a couple of days. So I scheduled my video for I think like 6:45, something like that. And I didn't get home until I think like 7:15, 7:20. So I'm here now. It's 7:33 and I'm just checking to make sure everything is fine on my page. Just see. Okay, I think I'm good. Ooh, okay. All right. All right. So, a little update for tonight's HauzPlant cocktail. There will be no alcoholic cocktails. I am feeling just a little under the weather. The throat is feeling a little, you know, swollen, and the nose, feels a little tingly. So I had to have like a ginger lemongrass delicious Haitian tea that my mom made for me. So I'm just sipping on that. You might still see a little steam coming out of it. It's warm. Hi, Miss Lady June. How are you? Happy Friday! House playing cocktails Friday. How are you? How has this week treated you? Hi, Deborah. How you doing, Deborah? Mm, this is good. This is good. Mm. Oh, I felt that. I felt that hit the little part here. All right, so I'm just gonna be sipping on that no alcoholic beverage for tonight. So this week has been a good week at work. It's been busy. Every things are like picking up more. I've been there for over 2 months now, so they give us more things to do. Hi, Keon. New commenter, Salty Pecan in the chat. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, uh, it's been, more and more work and, just essentially like embracing the new things and always thinking where to next. Unfortunately, I don't really think I'm the type of person who, when they accomplish things, right, they really give themselves like props and praise, like, girl, you did it. It's kind of like I'm the type of person who, when I accomplish a goal, I'm like, all right, good. What's next? I never say, oh, you did it, girl. Like treat yourself, like basking. No, I'm like, let's go. So I'm already thinking where to next. What am I doing? What is my plan for the next year or two? X, Y, and Z elemental P, investments, money, love, life, everything. I'm just like, all right, girl, what are we doing? Where are we going? Thank you. I'm feeling under the weather a little bit, Keon, but we're treating ourselves and hopefully, this doesn't last. Hopefully, like by the weekend, it's gone. Mm. So, tonight's Planty segment of our live is going to be in regards to me repotting one of my favorite Hoyas ever, the most expensive plant I ever purchased. I spent, in my opinion, I call it a whopping $150 on a what, one node, I believe at the time. It was like one node and just two leaves. I think it was like this leaf right here and like this leaf right here. This is my Hoya Swiffer's tail. This is a hybrid Hoya between Hoya, I'm Motoski and Fungii. This is a hybrid between Hoya Motoski and Hoya Fungii. And as you can see, she is currently blooming and also has some peduncles. But what I've noticed recently, like the last 2 or so weeks, is that my plant is, would I say declining? It's declining. I've lost one node already, and this right here is like rotting away. So I'm about to lose this another node right now, and I'm a little like about that. But when I actually look at the roots, like I think I repotted this plant earlier this year, or maybe sometime mid to late last year. I just repotted it into this little container, and you're like, wow, this is a tiny container. It really is a tiny container. Like, do I have a ruler here? Let me see. Oh, it poked me in the eye. All right, so this is a about 2-inch planter, and yeah, so it's about like a 2 by 2 inch planter, and it was in something even smaller before. So when I like pull this out of the pot, you can see this baby is, I mean, rooted. Okay, it's juicy, it's really rooted, and I think it's time that this plant gets a new uppotting. So right now it's flowering, and they do recommend that you don't mess with your plants when it's flowering or during its active season or active growth period. But I'm going to just bite the bullet, and I'm going to repot this plant. And I'm just going to give it a slight larger container. So this is just like the size difference between the old one and the new one. So it's about 2 inches across, but height wise, I do believe it's maybe like 3 inches. Let me put this down. Hold on. Hi, CJ. How are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's nice to see you. Oh, it's nice for you to see me, for me to know you're here. So this is a 3-inch container. So I'm just moving this up, and it's about 2 inches across. Okay. So just going to up pot it. And what I've gone ahead, stop what? I didn't do anything. So I am pre-soaking some orchid bark and some perlite in water. I'm just pre-soaking it in here. And yeah, that's pretty much all I'm gonna do. Again, this plant is so beautiful. It's blooming, but I'm just gonna repot it into something a little bit larger, okay? So, all right, that's what we're gonna do next. But before I get into that, I just want to show you all my Hoya obovata. Ta-da! So my Hoya ovovada decided to give me another vine, and I am absolutely elated about that. Like yesterday, I noticed this. I didn't even know that this whole entire time this plant has been pushing out a whole nother vine. So much so, it pushed out the largest leaves currently. Okay, I didn't even, like, this is how much attention I'm not paying to this plant. So the largest leaves I am just now noticing on this plant popped out from the new vine. And then this is the second largest leaf. Thank you, Keon. And I clumsily, just now as I'm taking it away from where it is living, like by the window, I accidentally just knocked the new leaf that it was about to push out over here, sadly. So when you just like move up, move up, move up, here's another node, move up, move up, move up. Here's another node with a lovely surprise that I didn't notice until I picked this plant up to show you all. It has another peduncle. All right, let me show y'all. Ta-da! So the new vine is pushing out a peduncle. So this plant has blessed me with, you know, beautiful flowering. So this is one very active peduncle right here. And then there's another active peduncle right here. Um, and there's this new one right here that you all see. And let me look at the point to see maybe if possibly. Let me just see. Okay. So yeah. So the Hoya, yes. Felix. Hi, Felix. The Hoya is fragrant. The Hoya Swiffer's tail is fragrant. I believe, gosh, it was many Hoyas. I said Hoya, many lives ago. I think when these Hoyas first were initially, ooh, they're like getting knocked down, these flowers. I'm like knocking them. Accidentally, I didn't mean to do it. You believe it or not, I actually collect my Hoya blooms. I'll show y'all that in a little bit if I remember. I do collect my Hoya blooms. But so it has a fragrance of, gosh, I can't even remember. But so, all right. So let me say one thing I realized, Felix, with the Hoyas, and all my salty pecans watching right now, is depending at the point of flowering, it may or may not have some sort of fragrance. That's what I realized. So when it's first, like, the flowers like first open up, they pretty much don't really smell like much. But after you kind of start seeing it create that like sappy goo syrup, it does. So this one right now, so now like more towards the end of it blooming, it has a chocolatey smell. This is what I can say. It has a cocoa smell. Yeah. Oh no, another one just fell. They're at the end of its life point anyways. As you can see, they're starting to like brown. So this one gives me like it gives me a cocoa butter. This smell, and now it's like stuck on my nose. It's like this smells so good. Mm. It literally smells like cocoa butter. Yeah. This is for me what the Hoya Swiffer's tail smells like. It smells so good. Thank you for asking that question. Because a couple of days ago when I smelled it, it didn't have any fragrance. So I was just like, oh, yeah, whatever. Um, my Hoya compacta bloomed only once for me, so I'm still waiting for it to like do some more. But fingers crossed, Homegrow, does more. But I noticed my Hoya compacta is just like loaded with peduncles, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, so that's just the quick little update I wanted to show you all in regards to both the obovata and the Swiffer's tail. So let's go ahead and repot my Hoya Swiffer's tail. Okay. So really quickly though, like I told y'all, I collect um the dried old Hoya blooms. So I have this little container. It's just a bunch of little old Hoya blooms in here. So as they fall down, I kind of collect them. And yeah. Yeah, literally it smells so good, Kian. So I'm just gonna add the new babies into the collection and let it dry and do its thing. Tea so good. Yum, yum, yum. All right. So let's repot the Swiffer's tail now. All right. Fingers crossed this thing does not like lose any more flowers before the repotting is over. I'm just gonna lay it on its side for now. Keeping this really simple. Before that, I'm gonna take a little bit of Osmocot into this. So Osmocot is a slow release, like pellet fertilizer. I'm just gonna just shovel a little bit of this into here. Okay, like so. Sprinkle a tiny bit of Osmocot. Give it a little mixy mix. Like that. Boom. And then gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. I'm gonna pat this down a little bit. It's about the same width. Okay. Yeah. Looking good, looking good. A little bit of soil out, substrate out. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna hold it down. And I'm gonna put some, and I'm gonna use the shovel to tuck the substrate like around the sides. So I'm just making sure the pot is full while being careful not to break any of the roots that are close to the edge. I'm noticing 2024 is going to be the year of a lot of like, well, obviously every year is the year of a lot of babies, but I'm noticing a lot of people are announcing pregnancies. So, yeah. Or at least a lot of the people that I follow on social media have been announcing their pregnancies, which is really, such a blessing for them. Okay. Just tucking them in. I've been doing a lot of like house chores recently, just updating different things around the home, new purchases that have come in. So I'm just really embracing and just loving this new little Pam that's happening right now. So the little HauzPlant home is coming together. It's coming along beautifully, making me really proud of my interior decor skills. I am nowhere near finished or near ready to be finished with any of the rooms just yet, but with time and just patience and putting in, the effort and energy into redecorating, it's coming along really, really, really nicely. Okay, so potted this beauty up. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So I'm going to put it back to where it lives. I'm going to water it over there because I'm just going to let it soak some more water in here. But that's pretty much that with this one. The next Hoya that I am going to speak about is one of my favorite Hoyas, and it's my Hoya Polyneura Brocade. Let me show you all that Hoya. All right, so this is my Hoya Polyneura Brocade over here off screen that I'm not showing y'all. All right. Okay, so this is my Polyneura Brocade, and I'm not really too sure what's going on with it. It needs some watering. It needs a soil do-over. Let me pull it out of the container. This is what the roots are looking like right now. And this plant is in the same pot, the same soil that I purchased it in. I have never added new soil to it. And yeah. So what I'm going to do is, the roots look good. The roots look healthy. It might be something to do with probably the lighting or maybe even potentially pests. But I'm going to just add a little bit of fresh soil to the bottom of this container. Essentially is all I want to do for right now. Again, the roots look really nice. have the rest of this soaking substrate mix. Just line the bottom. Okay. And I'm just gonna place it in here. I'm going to push the sides down just slightly and add the remainder of this. Let's remove this little tchotchke. Just giving it a little soil refresher. All right. Looking good. Looking good. Okay. There was some extra that I didn't use. Yeah. Give it a little tuck. CJ and Felix, my Chi-Town people, so funny. So one of my friends is actually at Riot Fest right now in Chicago, and I don't remember the exact area that she's in, but if she's around like where Riot Fest is, then I guess y'all probably know what sector of Chicago that is in. But like the harassment that she essentially faced from going from like the airport to her friend's home was intense. But I'm like, girl, you're like gorgeous. One, alone. Two, at night, late night, you know, in a new state, in a foreign town, like be careful. So essentially I was like on the phone with her until she got to her destination. And even one of, I guess, those corner store owners went up to her and was just like, hey, listen, they seen you walking down the block, you know. They seen you walking down the block and they decided to like congregate here. And when she called me, she was just like, oh my God, this looks like a sex traffic area. And I'm like, yo, be careful. So yeah, so the owner came, like they're both speakers of like the same language. So he came over and he was just like, listen, like, you know, please be careful because, you know, you're bringing like attention and like come into the store, you know, at least so you're not out here alone. And she was on the phone with me again. So she ended up getting to her destination safely. But I'm like, woo, I love New York. I love New York. It might be Felix. I'll probably have to ask her exactly like what area she's in. But I'm like, ooh, that is terrifying, you know, just to like deal with. Yes, 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 CJ. But sometimes you be saying to Felix, oh, you know, you're like my Chicago people. That's why I said your name. All right, so ta-da! I have potted, repotted, added potting to this beauty right here. And same thing, I'm just gonna water it. I'm not too sure what's going on with the yellow leaves. This plant really just be tricky. So I don't know. Oh, what did I just do? Oh, this was dry already. So I don't know if it might be like a pest situation happening. Um, I really want to get like a magnifying glass. You know, one of those little zoomy lenses, right? That you can zoom in. Yeah, I'm so bad with like y'all are Midwesterners with this East Coast girl over here. I need to get better with traveling to the different states. I think I probably have been to about 10 states at most. I've been obviously New York, Jersey, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, Vermont, Florida, North Carolina. Did I say Vermont? Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Massachusetts. Yeah, so I think about like 10. Oh, I've been to Nevada as well. So that's about like 11 of 50 states that I've been to. Oh, I've been to Louisiana. I recently went to New Orleans in October. Don't hold it against me, CJ. I'm sick. My head is not in the right place. My memory is not very good. Oh, don't hold it against me. Oh. All right, my lovely salty pecans. So I am going to have some dinner. It is 8:05 Eastern Standard Time right now for me. We have repotted both my Hoya Silver's Tail and my Hoya Polymura Bouquet. We're gonna keep an eye out on both, especially the Swiffer's Tail because I just repotted her as she's blooming, and fingers crossed, it doesn't like irritate her, but whatever, it's at the end of the bloom cycle anyway, so they're gonna fall off eventually. And when it comes to the Polymura Bouquet, the two yellow leaves, right, or the few yellow leaves that I'm seeing, it could all potentially be sunburn. It could potentially be like a pest thing. So I'm going to do a little bit further investigation. And I do have to treat all of my plants. I have to treat all of my plants for thrips as a preventative measure. So as a preventative measure, because we're getting into this like colder season, so I know this is around the time where they kind of go rampant between like the fall into the winter. So we're gonna do a whole entire pest cleaning, desanitization, just because I'm paranoid. Yeah, so this collection is looking beautiful, and we're trying to keep it that way. But yeah, my lovies. So CJ said next year visit the Midwest during the spring and summer. We might love it. I want to. I want to visit more states, definitely. But we shall see. We shall see. I'll see what I'm gonna, where life will take us next year. So fingers crossed we can visit more states. I also, another thing I told myself is I want to go to more concerts. This year, I don't think I've gone to any. I went to the Ari Lennox concert this year, and last year I went to Wizkid I also went to Giveon last year. So this year I only just went to Ari Lennox. I miss Burna Boy for a dumb reason. And I didn't buy like Beyonce tickets because I'm not about to spend like that much money on Beyonce tickets. But, you know, fingers crossed, next year we can do more traveling, more international traveling as well. So, my lovies, my salty pecans, I am going to bid you all farewell. And if you aren't already, please make sure you're following me on my other social media platforms at HauzPlant, HauzPlant. That's on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and the Tweety X. Okay. So I love you all. Let's get growing and bye. I'll see you on the next one.